Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Janderra. I'm Gerwin, and tonight we're playing Cashflow 101. Thanks for dropping by the channel. And if you're wanting to have a game, make sure that you click on the type play in the chat. So let's get started with Cashflow. Takes a little while for my computer to load. We won't worry about playing this starting animation because I've got the music turned off today. But if you want to see this part, I'll show it in another.
Hello, my name is Robert Kiyosaki. I'm the author of the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and also the creator of the board game Cashflow. So I want to thank you for your interest in the board game Cashflow as well as this new electronic version of it. When I am asked why did I create this board game, I created it simply because I wanted to be able to find a way of teaching people the same important financial literacy and financial intelligence lessons my rich dad taught me. I had to find a way of compressing it, making it short, making it fun, to compress basically 30 years of education into one game board. So I'd like to explain why it was created and also the two main lessons you can learn from this game. Lesson number one is you'll learn how to be an investor. Today, all of us need to learn how to invest, especially with these flaky 401k and these risky mutual funds and the stock market going up and down. We all need to learn how to become investors. On the board game Cashflow, you will learn what very few people learn. You will learn about the 4 different levels of investor. Level number 1 is a small deal. And that's where most people should start at. As a little boy, I started investing in small real estate and small stock deals. Level 2 is the big deal. As you get more money and become more sophisticated as an investor in real life and on this board game, you do go to level 2, which is big deals. The third level is a level that the rich invest in. This is called the fast track. The 1933 Securities Exchange Act defined that only the people who are rich were allowed to invest on the fast track. You had to be a millionaire. And the fourth level is Cashflow 202, which uses the same game board to play that game. Cashflow 202 is what the sophisticated investors use. It's called technical trading, how to use insurance when you invest, how to make money when the market goes up and the market goes down. So those are the 4 basic lessons about investing you will learn by playing this game. 4 lessons that most people never even know exist. 4 levels of investing that most people have never heard about. So by playing this game, you will learn how to be an investor, you'll be introduced to the really complete world, the complete whole world of investing. That's one of the most important things you'll learn from this game. The second thing you will learn is you will learn how to use an income statement and balance sheet. In other words, you will learn to understand what accountants know. This year's income statement, this is the balance sheet. My rich dad said, if you want to be successful in the world of business and investing, you have to be financially literate. And financial literacy begins with this here. My rich dad also said that, his banker has never once asked him for his report card. His banker never asked him if he had good grades or what school he went to. He says, in the real world, once you leave school, what your banker asks you for is your financial statement. So the 2 important lessons you will learn from this game are, 1 is about the 4 levels of investing, and 2, the levels of accounting. Given all the problems we've had in the stock market lately, you'll realize that many of the analysts were giving bad financial advice because the analysts could not read a financial statement. They could not see the big companies actually lying and cheating the investing public. So that's why I created the board game Cashflow. 2 main lessons. 1, the 4 levels of investing, and 2, the importance of financial literacy. Cashflow is the only game that teaches you both lessons in one game. That's the power of the game. It's what my rich dad taught me, and that's why I'm excited about you taking a look at this game for yourselves.
Cool. Okay. So now we're going to go to hot seat multiplayers. Generally speaking, if there are people wanting to play, you can just type in play in the comments and I can add you in as one of the hot seat players. At the moment, there's just going to be 2 of us, so just me and Matthew are playing tonight. And we might add in, we'll just add in 1 computer player. So I'm going to choose stock market for kids. And Matthew likes to be a jet setter. Oh, you're the lawyer, Matthew. Okay, so the way this works is you've got your balance sheet. So you've got your income statement, shows where all your different income's coming in, your expenses, your balance sheet shows you all your assets, and then your liabilities. You always start off with a mortgage, school loans, car loans, credit cards, retail debt. Um, and you can also click on that to see what it is for each player. So Matthew is the lawyer. I am a chef. And everybody's details are going to be slightly different depending on what their character is. And then the computer player, he's an army officer. So Matthew's turn. We'll roll the dice. You want to do charity, Matthew? You can't hear him. He's in the background. He is saying he wants to do it though. So a doodad.
Probably the most exciting aspect of the rat race, and the reason so many people stay in the rat race all their lives, is this card here, doodads. Doodads are the things that make life worth living. For instance, having a nice car, nice clothes, nice watch, jewelry, going out to dinner, new stereo equipment. The problem with doodads is doodads keep most people broke. And this is why they buy doodads thinking they're assets. It goes back to the financial statement here. In traditional accounting, you're allowed to count a doodad as an asset when it's really a liability. For example, let's say I buy a boat. Your banker will allow you to list your boat as an asset when it really is a liability. The reason people do that is because they've not been trained financially to actually read a financial statement. And many people think their house is an asset when it's really a liability. You know, when your banker says to you your house is an asset, the banker's not really lying to you. He's just not saying whose asset it is. Your house is really your bank's asset. So that's why the doodad card is so important. The way my rich dad taught me to enjoy the good things of life, because I don't believe in living frugally. I don't believe in living below my means. I don't believe in saving money. I believe first in buying assets, and then my assets will buy my doodads. That's how the rich do it. The middle class, unfortunately, and the poor, they buy doodads first and never have any money left over to buy assets. For example, a number of years ago, I wanted a new Porsche. I had $50,000 in cash on the savings line here. Instead of buying buying the Porsche with the cash, I went out and bought a piece of real estate. That piece of real estate then gave me the cash flow via which I could buy my Porsche. So today I have my Porsche, which is still a liability because I have upkeep on it, like insurance and repairs and tires and gasoline. But I also still have my piece of real estate, and in many ways, I still have my $50,000. So the way you can buy all the doodads you want, all the wonderful toys of life, all you have to do is first buy assets first, doodads second. That's the way you get rich and enjoy the good life. I personally do not believe in living below my means, being frugal, or denying me the wonderful things that life offers me. If you want a boat, have your boat, but buy an asset first, boat second. And that's the secret to getting rich and having all the doodads you want so you can keep up with the Joneses and pass them with cash flow.
So that's what a doodad is. So the doodad I've gotten is I'm going on a family vacation, which is always lots of fun. And I'm going to have to put it on my credit card because I don't have enough money on hand. But as I've done that, now I need to do the auto sum on that. What I can do is I can actually come in here and I can repay my retail debt because I've got $1,000 sitting in there. So it's not going to take it out completely, but it'll at least help because I have a fairly low income, which also means I've got low expenses, which means I'm going to get into the fast track quicker. So computer player's turn. And the computer player got charity. Matthew's turn. 2 dice, Matthew. And Matthew had a baby. The computer. Oh, no, Scott decided not to do the charity. There you go. Well, there's no rule saying you have to do charity. Charity just makes it so that um, you get to roll 2 dice instead of only one. Oh, there you go. Now I get charity, and I don't think I've got enough money. So, oh no, I think I actually do. So my total income's $250, so it's 10% of that. My total income is 2,500. 10% of that is 250, and yes, I do have enough to donate. But let's
I'd like to
have a look.
discuss the importance of charity. Charity was very important to my rich dad. My poor dad always said, I'll give money when I have money. And what my rich dad said, the reason your dad doesn't have money is because he doesn't give. In other words, my rich dad believed in the law of reciprocity. You can call it, Newton's law: give and you shall receive, or for every action, equal and opposite reaction. Or the Asians say karma: give what you want. So my rich dad explained to me, if you wanted a smile, the best way to get a smile is to first give one. He also said if you wanted a punch in the mouth, the best way is to give one first also. So he said, if you want money, give money. Today, I hear many people saying, well, I don't give money, I give my time. The problem with that thinking is you get back what you give. If you give time, you get back time. So charity is very important if you want to get rich and get on to the fast track. You need to give what you want. If you want money, you need to give money. You need to first give, and then you can receive. That's why charity was so important to my rich dad. Charity was a very important part of my rich dad's financial and business plans.
Okay, so I am definitely donating. Now it's Scott's turn. Scott's got my paycheck. Matthew's turn. 2 dice, Matthew. He's happy to play with me. He's just not willing to be on camera or in the comments. Which small deal or big deal? Small deal. Certificate of deposit. A leading bank offers this special certificate of deposit to its customers. Guaranteed interest and redeemable after any holding period. Today's price is $5,000. Trading range is $5,000 to $5,000, and the interest is $20 a month. You want it, Matthew? No, he's going to pass on the deal. I'm passing on the deal too. And Scott passed on the deal. I'm definitely going to roll 2 dice. And I'm going to get some new speakers. And I'm paying cash for that baby. And I don't think I can pay off any of my credit cards because I think I need to pay out the whole amount. So I'll need to have 4,000 before I can pay off that credit card. Scott's turn. Oh, you said a baby. Matthew's turn. 2 dice, bud. Big deal or small deal? Big or small deal? Div2U Utilities, high profitability utility company, has a proven track record of providing dividends to shareholders. Only you may buy as many units as you want at this price. Everyone may sell at this price. Symbol is Div2U. Today's price is $50. Trading range is 50 to 50, and the interest is $1. Yield is 24%. What would you like to do, Matthew? Pass?
Nicely done.
2 dice. You get to move a lot quicker with 2 dice. And I'm going to go with a small deal. Condo for sale. Excellent 2-1 condo with many extras is for sale due to business success of the owner. She's moving up, so can you. Negative 24% ROI. So it's got a dreadful cash return on investment, and it's negative $100 a month. The other problem with this is its cost is $60,000 and it may sell for $45,000 to $65,000. So there's no appreciation there either. So we're going to pass on that deal. Mental like that. Go to the casino. Lose $200. Matthew's turn. Oh, you got charity again, Matthew. Two dice. Get to run around the board. Look at that. Got 2 paychecks that time. I'm going to go, let's have a listen to what the mentor has to say.
So let's get into some of the more details of actually playing the game. For example, you get on the rat race, you roll around and land on opportunity cards. When you land on the opportunity card, you have basically 2 choices. One is a small deal and one is a big deal. Small deals are investments of $5,000 and below, and big deals are $6,000 and above. The interesting thing about this game is games actually reflect people's behavior. I'll say that again because it's important. Games actually reflect people's behavior. Like, I've seen savers just save, I've seen cheaters cheat. In the game, whatever is going on with you will come up in this game. And when it comes to the small deal and big deal, oftentimes I'll see people playing this game, they have no money. Even though they have no money, they think they have to be the John Wayne of investing, and they'll take a big deal card even though they have no money. So the beauty of this game here is you get to see their behavior. Another beautiful thing, as I said, there's four levels of investing: small deals, big deals, fast track, and then Cashflow 202. The beauty of this game is you can get rich on small deals, big deals, fast track, and 202. It makes no difference. So anyway, the funny thing about this game is I meet these, generally men, they think they have to do a big deal card even though they have no money. And that's a reflection of the behavior.
A little bit of interesting trivia there. Well, not trivia, but it's interesting. Okay, so 10 acres of raw land, wonderful park-like setting with stream. So it's 0% ROI, $5,000 down. Now I know this one comes up really well in the market and it does pay really well, but I've only got $2,400 in cash. Oh, you want to buy it off me, do you, Matthew? Okay. How much money have you got there, Matthew? You've got just on 7,000. Okay, cool. Okay, I'll sell it to you. My selling price is going to be, we could do an auction. Shall we see if the computer player wants to buy it? Although I don't think the computer player's got any money. Nah, he hasn't got enough money. I'll just sell it to Matthew. Auctions are fun. Oops. I'm sure I typed in. My keyboard's not working. Why is my keyboard not working? There we go. You happy to buy that at 500, Matthew? So Matthew's going to buy that.
My real estate broker says the value of the property will go up in value. What do you think?
Well, ask your real estate broker if they have a crystal ball. Always remember that your profit is made when you buy, not when you sell.
But I'm spending money in buying, so how does that work? Making a profit when I'm spending money?
Do you hope the investment will go up in value?
Well, yeah, that's why I'm spending money, I think.
Well, you should never expect the price of anything to go up in order to make a profit. A piece of real estate needs to be profitable when you buy it, the same as a stock needs to be paying a dividend when you buy it. Never expect a thing to go up in value. That's gambling.
Matthew had a baby. Matthew had a baby. Okay. I'm going to donate.
Nicely done.
We're all getting charity lots this game. Sometimes you don't land it on it at all. Your turn, Matthew. 2 dice. There you go, sprinting around the board. Opportunity, big or small deal. Okay for you, drug company. Low inflation leads to high share prices of this long-time maker of medicines. Only you may buy as many as you want. Today's price is 20. There's no dividend or yield or ROI. Trading range is 5 to 40. How many would you like, Matthew, or would you like any? He's working out the maths. You want to get 150? Just 100?
Congratulations. That was a good deal.
Buyer offers 30,000 for all units. No one's got any units yet. Okay for you. Your shares split. Did you get okay for you? Was it okay for you in the last game or last turn? Yes, it was. So your okay for you shares just split, Matthew. You've got double the number. So he's increased the amount that he's got. 2 dice, Matthew. Matthew got a paycheck. 2 dice. Okay for you. Today's price is $50 a share. Trading price is 5 to 40. Matthew, what would you like to do with your shares? Yes, correct. So you're selling all and you just made $10,000. I've been dabbling in the stock market a little bit lately. It's been interesting with all the tariffs and everything that's happening in America at the moment. It's having interesting effects on the stock market. Matthew, big deal or small deal? Small deal. House for sale. 3-2 house in older area offered by Highway Department. Market has crashed. No bids at last week's auction. Question mark for the ROI. May sell for 65 to 135,000. The cost is only 50,000. Mortgage is 50,000. Down pay is 0, but the cash flow is negative 100. Yeah, it does appreciate. You have, yeah, you can definitely afford it. Mentor doesn't like it when you've got negative cash flow. Although that one is a really good gem. I like that one, that card. Provided you've got the cash flow to be able to handle it. My turn. I
Downsize.
got
It
downside.
shouldn't make any difference if you've invested well. Your money will be working even if you're not.
Got paid for charity. Matthew's turn. And Matthew's had a baby. Increase the child expenses again. I think you've had 3 now, haven't you? This is true. Well, it's not that you won't get any more, but it won't cost you anything more. I'm still downsized. Pizza franchise for sale. Now, what's Scott doing getting big deals? He's only got, oh yeah, he's just hit the 5,000 mark. So the big deals start at 5,000. But, I mean, that is a really good deal, but there's no way Scott can do it. Matthew, are you interested in this pizza franchise? You've only got 14,000, that's correct. So that would be a no? It's a no? Good choice. And I'm passing on with Matthew's passing, and I'm passing. Well, it can be a very getting some cash. Matthew's turn. Big deal or small deal? One more small deal? Mighty for you. High inflation leads to poor share prices for this home electronics seller. Today's price is $5 a share. There's no dividend or yield and no return on investment. Trading range is 5 to 30. How much would you like, Matthew? $2,000? Hi, Peter. What am I doing with share trading or crypto? Mostly share trading is what I'm playing around with at the moment. Um, I haven't been game to play around with crypto. How have you been, Peter? It's been a long time since I've seen you. Okay, apartment for sale. 24 units, older building near the community college. Available for renting. Retiring owner builder. Sorry. Fully rented. Nice cash flow. Use this yourself or sell to another player. 67% return on investment. May sell for 600 to 960. Cost is 550. Mortgage is 500. Down payment's 50,000. Cash flow is 2,800. And Scott's going to try, the computer player's going to. Yeah, Peter, this is a game. It's not the actual stock exchange. So yeah, just been. I don't know if you've ever seen the board game Cashflow. That's what this game is. um, Now Matthew's not doesn't want to do that, and I'm not wanting to do that. Yeah, this game teaches you some of the basic fundamental ideas of how finances work. It was created by Robert Kiyosaki. Matthew, big or small deal? Okay, so house to sale. Low down payment to pick up this 3-2 house. Owner seller unexpectedly moving out of town. 40% ROI. May sell for 65 to 135,000. Cost is 50,000. Mortgage is 47. And Matthew's going to go with a yes. He wants to buy that one. Yeah, this can be it's the game can be a really good way to help people to understand how things start out, and just give you a better idea of what you're doing. I'm definitely passing on the certificate of deposit. Matthew, you're not wanting the certificate of deposit? You don't want the certificate of deposit? So you can up to 5 players. At the moment, it's just Matthew and me playing with a computer player. But my aim at the moment is to be doing this every Monday night at 8:30. So if you want to join in next week, or even if this game goes quite quickly, which it seems to be going quite slowly at the moment, we can play the next game. Let's see. Matthew, do you want to buy this 3-2 house? Nope, good choice. You're going to pass on that deal, and we're passing on that deal. It's really fun when we do an auction. We were playing with a couple of people the other day, and they gave me what they wanted for their to put in the auction, so that neither of them saw what the other said, and we got to see the auction going. It's really fun. Yeah, it is actually a lot of fun, and it does keep you thinking, which is really good. It starts getting you thinking about the ideas, and then you start actually finding things to be able to do as well. And what's really good is if we can get a bit of a community going where people have different ideas and find out about different investments, and maybe they find a really good share that they think is about to go up, um, then we can share stuff like that. So that's my intention as things go along to do that. So start where we start. It's been a long time since I've been able to do any live streams, but getting back on my feet a bit now. It's better than sitting around watching TV. You buy shares also in crypto? What shares are you looking at the moment that you think are interesting? Yeah, how much money have I got? I've only got 3,000. I'm going to stick with small deals for a bit longer. On to you, entertainment. Box office hits by children's division causes record share prices. On to you, entertainment. Today's price is $40 a share. The trading range is 10 to 30. Not a good time to buy, but a really good time to sell. It's amazing how many people do it the other way around.
Nicely done.
There's actually another version of this game as well. It's called Cashflow 202, and it actually brings in puts and calls and all the options and all that sort of thing. Hi, Robert. It's lovely to see you. How have you been? We're playing a game of Cashflow 101. I don't know if you've ever played it before. Big deal or small deal, Matthew? I got big or small deal? I got Matthew behind me. Okay, on to you, entertainment. Box office flop by musical extravaganza in core division causes poor share prices. Today's price is $10 a share. Trading range is 10 to 30. What would you like to do, Matthew? 100? So we put the number of shares and the cost down here in the assets section of the balance sheet. Matthew's getting quite a collection here. I might see. So you've got your assets down here in your balance sheet, and then you've got your liabilities over here. Oh, I'll put me back over there. So you've got a list of your liabilities there, so your mortgages and all that sort of thing. Matthew's bought a couple of houses and everything in this game already, and a fair bit of shares. Then we've got your expenses up here, and you've got your cash flow up here. Ah, it's good to hear you're doing well, Robert. It's nice to see you. It's been a long time. I've been a bit slack on the live streaming lately. So do your own research. Yep. You've been dollar cost averaging on this ASX company that you think will do okay. Rare earth sector. Okay, cool. That's very interesting. There's a lot of, yeah, there's just so much out there, isn't there? It's all been very volatile lately. So the computer player has got a 3-bedroom house. I bet he's going to sell it to it, try and sell it again. Do you want this one, Matthew? Nope, he doesn't want it. So we're going to pass on that deal. No auctioning happening here. Eventually, Scott will get a good deal for us. Computer players are interesting to play with. Big or small deal, Matthew? Small deal for Matthew. Start a company part-time. You invent a new way of making widgets. So you start a company to produce and sell them. No profits during the startup, long hours, and no extra pay. He's going to buy that one.
Congratulations. That was a good deal.
Cost goes into the assets. Down payment goes into the assets. So that goes down the bottom of his. He's got it somewhere down here. There it is. Widget company. Liability goes into liabilities, and cash flow goes up into income. I don't need to sum it because there's nothing going on there. roll the dice. And I get an opportunity. Now I've only got $4,000, so I'm going to stick with small deals. So where does the game show your actual profits up to date? Okay, so the way it works is we've got your cash flow. So this is what comes in every month, and it tallies up the income you get from investments, which I haven't got any at the moment. So that's your total income. And then it's got your total expenses here, and that's the price there. And then it goes, that's your net monthly cash flow. So your income minus your expenses. And then your passive income is up here. And you've got a little bar here that goes green as you get more cash flow. Your cash on hand is here. So I've got 4,140 on hand. So I'm going to go for a small deal because the small deals go from 0 to 50 to 5,000, and the big deals start at 5,000 and go up. I haven't been getting very many good deals lately. I've been getting a lot of dodgy deals, which that one's a dodgy deal.
There you go.
You going to pass on the too big power, Matthew? The too big power? Trade today's price is 1,200. There are better deals to be found.
Nicely done.
So we've got Timid Turtle here, and we've got Mentor the Mentor on the other side. So duplex for sale. Scott's bound to sell this to somebody. This one looks like it might actually be a good one, Matthew. We've got duplex for sale. Scott offers you the rights to this opportunity for $1,600. Oh, geez, he's not selling it cheap, is he? 40%. Yeah, you've only got 140%, so $140, so you're not going to buy that one at all. And I don't think I'm in a much better state, actually. I've got 4,000, but it's nowhere near the 12,000, and that deal's just not worth it. I'm going to pass on that one too. The game's been around for ages, but it's really good fun. It does make it a little difficult to work with StreamYard though, because it stops me from working on one screen. Okay, so Matthew, big deal or small deal? Good choice. So you get to start a direct-to-you marketing company. You want to do that? That costs 200. So it's 200 to get started. You may join a direct-to-you, DTU, a direct distribution company. Good products, low starting income, growth prospects for learners and leaders. No promises and much opportunity. And interestingly, I have actually just started with a new company, which I'm quite excited about, actually. I've been using the products that these guys make for 23 years from a different company. And that company went out of business for various reasons. I suspect it was actually all the unsettling in the actual stock market because it was owned by an investment company, and they'd borrowed a stupid amount of money on it. And yeah,
Mutual funds are good, safe investments.
so I had to.
Mutual funds aren't safe at all.
Find a new
They only
provider.
work if the stock market is going up. When the stock market drops, mutual funds lose their value faster than other investments.
Now the trading range for this was 10 to 50, and I was buying it. I'm more than happy to buy that at $10 a share. So in real life, I don't know whether mutual funds are something you want to look at though, because it's got lots of fees. I think the ETFs are probably a better option. Yeah, it's really interesting actually, Robert. I'm going to be sharing a lot more information over the coming weeks, just as I'm learning how it all works. Okay, bed and breakfast. Do you want this one, Matthew? I don't think you've got enough money, have you? You've only got $800. I don't know why Scott keeps trying to sell these to us when we've got no money. he doesn't check, which makes sense. In real life, you're not going to know. Yeah, I think the mutual funds are supposed to be like managed funds. I'm not 100% certain on those. I probably should have read out the description a little bit better. Sometimes I can skip through these things a little quick because I've been playing the game for a very long time. Although I stopped playing it for about 15 years just about. I don't know why. Probably because I was out too busy with goats and chickens. No, the Cashflow game. This Cashflow game's not from Dave Ramsey. It's actually from Robert Kiyosaki. So the guy that wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad. Yes, it's definitely an American game. Limited partner. He's going to try and sell it to us again. I can tell. You're not wanting it, are you, Matthew? The foundations are still good though. So, especially if you're going to do anything with shares and all that sort of thing. It'd be really interesting if Dave Ramsey did come out with a game, actually. That would be really interesting. You want to donate, Matthew? Donating in the game means that you pay 10% of your total income and then you get to move 2 dice for 3 turns. Which means you get to go around paycheck more often. So I'll let you listen to Robert Kiyosaki
I'd like to
talk about it.
discuss the importance of charity. Charity was very important to my rich dad. My poor dad always said, I'll give money when I have money. And what my rich dad said, the reason your dad doesn't have money is because he doesn't give. In other words, my rich dad believed in the law of reciprocity. You can call it, Newton's law, give and you shall receive. For every action, equal and opposite reaction. Or the Asians say karma, give what you want. So my rich dad explained to me, if you wanted a smile, the best way to get a smile is to first give one. He also said if you wanted a punch in the mouth, the best way is to give one first also. So he said, if you want money, give money. Today, I hear many people saying, well, I don't give money, I give my time. The problem with that thinking is you get back what you give. If you give time, you get back time. So charity is very important if you want to get rich and get on to the fast track. You need to give what you want. If you want money, you need to give money. You need to first give, and then you can receive. That's why charity was so important to my rich dad. Charity was a very important part of my rich dad's financial and business plans.
So he has a lot of these little videos throughout the game as well. The guy he's got a lot of wisdom. There's a lot we can learn from him, which I find is really helpful. And it's a lot of stuff that I was never taught as a kid. My parents didn't know, so they couldn't teach me. Matthew, do you want this one? Nope. You haven't got the money, have you? I haven't either. How is Scott able to do this? He's only got $9,000. He's going for big deals when he's hardly got any money. The big deals start at $5,000. This computer player is a little bit irritating. He'd be much better off sticking with the small deals and getting his capital up a bit more. No one's got any plexes. Ah dear, my turn. 2 dice. Watch my little rat move. Doodad. Doodad. What did I get? Car repairs. At least it wasn't the boat. I hate getting the boat. I didn't get the boat. I only had car repairs. Because I always get worried that I'm going to get the boat. The boat's like $340 expenses a month, and then you got a $17,000 debt as well. And it's just
I want to talk about another
horrible.
word, again, vocabulary, a new word that sort of crept into our society in the last 20 years. That word is downsizing. So, question is, when you look at the cash flow quadrant, the employee, self-employed, or small business, business owner, investor, who does the word downsizing affect the most? And in this case, it's the employee, because the reason employees are afraid of the word downsizing is the truth of the matter is today there is no job security. And I go back to my poor dad always saying to me, go get a safe, secure job. Well, that was a good idea in his time, but not my time. So all of a sudden, all these people who did as they were told, they went to school, had good scholastic grades or good professional grades, they're a lot of afraid now because they're not in control. So downsizing affects these people. One of the beauties of the cash flow game is even though you're downsizing, you'll soon find on the game that even if you're downsized, you're not out of the game because you're still investing. So the purpose of the cash flow game is to train you with the business skills to become business owners and investors. So keep playing this game. Even if you're downsized, you'll find out that even as an investor, you're still in the game. So downsizing only affects employees who really have no control because their boss is in control, and it affects people with 401ks again because they have no control of their mutual funds. So the purpose of this game is to have you not be afraid of that new word called downsizing.
I still don't like getting downsized. So when you downsize, you lose your total expense. You have to pay your total expenses, and then you lose 2 turns. Don't like getting downsized, but it's okay. It's not too bad if you haven't invested right. Ah, look, Matthew, your daughter just got married. Matthew's got 3 children in the game so far. Opportunity. And I have got nowhere near enough money to do anything. I said no deals this game. None. Oh, this is a good one. Oh, now can I? Oh, I'm going to be really close, hey. Because you can get a bank loan to pay for the cash for the down payment, but it's like 10% of the down pay of the cost in interest each month. But then you can pay that off. So honestly, I'm a bit desperate for opportunities. I really should be patient. Yeah, I'm gonna buy it. Even though it is gonna mean that I've got negative cash flow from the deal, I'm gonna be able to pay it back. So cost goes down to asset, down payment goes to asset, the mortgage goes to liability, cash flow goes to 20, goes up to that. My bank loan's 4,000. Ouch! Which is going to give me $400 in repayments, and it's going to take me a while to pay that back. Although first paycheck I'll be able to pay off at least one of them. So when you do get a loan, you can pay off the loans at your turn. So to come up here if I had enough money to pay off a loan. So as you can see, I've now got a little bit of green on here. Oh, you just watched our Minecraft Christmas greeting. Matthew did a really good job on that Christmas tree, hey. He had so much fun building that. We all helped. Well, he said fun. Do you want a big deal or a small deal, Matthew? Small deal. But he had so much fun. Oh, look at this one, Matthew.
Be
That's a
careful
great
with real
one.
estate. Tenants could damage your property.
That's correct, but that's what you have insurance for. And don't worry about the tenants or what they could do. You need to focus on those rent checks coming in every month. If you have good property managers, that problem won't happen anyway.
So this is an older 3-2 house repossessed by the government agency, ready to go with government financing and a tenant. Borrow from the bank if you must, but buy this. This is a really good deal. So it's 132% ROI. May sell for 65 to 135,000. The cost is only 35,000. Cash flow is 220. I mean, Matthew needs to borrow the money, but it's not a huge drama because
Good
cash flow
job.
is going to pay for the bank loan. So it's a really good deal. Cost and down payment go into assets. Mortgage is a liability. Cash flow goes up into income. Bank loan goes to liability. And bank payment goes over to expenses. And we remember to auto sum. I've got a dreadful habit of forgetting that. And then we hit confirm. Absolutely. That was a bargain. And really, it's a bit of the luck of the draw with the market and with the opportunities. You just don't know what you're going to get and what you're not going to get. So I'm going to go with small deal because I need to grow some capital. Oh, look at that! My shares that I bought before. So I bought my Grow For Us shares at $10 a share and I got 500 of them. Today's price is $30 a share. So I am going to sell all because the trading range is 10 to 30. I'm selling
There
all.
you go.
So now I can actually come in here and repay those 4,000 bank loans that I got. I could actually pay off where's that other bank loan? There it is. Pay that off. That's going to make my income a lot healthier. Yay! Yay! It's so cool. I really enjoy this game. It's a lot of fun. I'm going to pay off the credit cards as well because I have done the check on what the return on investment is, and it's reasonable for your credit cards. I don't bother paying off the others. Oops, what did I forget? I forgot something. Bet I forgot to auto sum. No, I still forgot. I did something wrong. We'll just clear that and start again. So credit card debt, credit card payment, totals, auto sum, and confirm. Yay! Yes, get rid of the credit card. Always pay off the credit card and the retail debt. The retail debt's always the first thing I pay out. As soon as I start the game, I clear the retail debt, then I clear the credit cards. Matthew, big or small deal, bud? Small deal? Good choice.
What is the first question I should ask my stockbroker?
Well, the first question I'd ask is, do you invest in stocks? Statistics show that most stockbrokers don't invest in stocks, the same as most real estate brokers don't invest in real estate. You see,
100?
most brokers are not investors. The reason they're called brokers is because they're broker than you are.
I might get rid of that little ticker I've got down at the bottom. Just for now. Because it means you can see more of the balance sheet. Not that there's a huge amount in there, but I mean, look at Matthew's. Matthew's got so many investments happening here. Mind you, were you a lawyer? I think he was a lawyer. Yeah, he's a lawyer. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. So Matthew's profession is a lawyer. So his total expenses are a lot higher than either mine or the computer players. So his child expenses are higher, his house mortgage is higher, everything is higher. Honestly, playing this game has given me so much compassion for doctors and lawyers and business managers. It's not funny. I actually really love it when you get the janitor. It's so easy to get out. It's so easy. So yeah, I'm a chef. So my total expenses are only 1,500 a month, and Matthews are like 6,700 a month. So it's to be able to get out of the rat race and get these little green things to go all the way along here. You've got to get your total monthly cash flow has got to be higher than your expenses. So yes. Yeah, doctors and lawyers have a lot higher. They've got the school fees. They've got to have all the nice stuff. So
Nicely done.
Like Scott's an army officer, and his house mortgage is like 31,000 because he's gotten a cheaper house. He hasn't needed the U-Butte flashy thing to show off to all his mates. He's just doing what he can. Whereas Matthew's got a $115,000 mortgage. Of course, if we could get a mortgage that low these days, we'd be really excited. So you can tell how old the game is. Quite old. The pricing for everything dates it. Um, but his mortgage costs are a lot higher, and he's got his school loans as well. So he's got his 78,000 in school loans and school loan repayments. It's actually really interesting. One thing this game has taught me is it's actually probably a lot better to encourage your kids to go and get a trade rather than going and getting a university degree. Um, so condo buyer, 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom. I'm offered 65,000 for a 2-1 rental condo. Everyone can sell if they've got a 2-1 condo, which I have one. So when I bought it, my down payment was 5,000 and my cost was 40,000. So they're offering me 65,000. So I am going to sell that property because it's going to give me some cash flow. It's going to give me some capital to be able to invest in larger deals. And at the moment, capital is king. Cash flow is good, but you're going to go have a snack, and a coffee to stay. You too. It's been so good to see you. Um, oh, I'm actually going to be sharing. So this new company that I've started with, they've actually got this amazing coffee that I'm wanting to try, and I'm going to do a video on it soon. But I've got to order it and get it delivered so that I can actually. But it sounds like it's amazing. It's actually going to be really good for you as well as being coffee that's going to give you energy. But it's got a heap of other things in there as well that actually are good for your health. So really interesting. Anyway, enjoy your snack. Thanks for hopping on. It was really great to see you. The game gets a lot. It starts to speed up a bit now that, or at least I've got some cash. See, the price has actually gone down a little bit because what it sells for in the market varies a bit. I'm going to go 2 dimes. And I've got over $30,000 now, nearly 40,000, so I can go for big deals. Ah, sweet! Automated business for sale, successful coin telephone business available due to death of owner. Heir lives off the estate. All locations. Hang on. Heirs live out of state. Okay. All locations and long-term contract. 81% return on investment. The total cost is 200,000. The down payment's 40,000. The liability is 160,000. The cash flow is 2,700. Now that 2,700 completely is well above my total expenses, and I don't want to get out of the rat race just yet. So I'm going to mess around a bit, and I'm actually going to borrow. I'm going to borrow 30,000. I may end up paying some of it back. I'm struggling to maths at the moment. So I'm going to borrow that just so that it keeps my expenses so that this card doesn't take me out of the rat race because I'm not ready to go into the fast track yet. So I'm going to buy that deal. So cost goes into
That
asset.
was a great deal.
Down payment goes into asset. Liability goes into liabilities, and cash flow comes up here to cash flow. And watch this. Watch this little green line here. Hey, auto sum. Woohoo! Now, honestly, that deal would have gotten me out of the rat race if I had chosen to not take out those loans. And I don't want to get out of the rat race yet. Now, I am actually going to pay back a little bit of that loan because I don't want to pay off 29,000 though. Actually, I might just leave it. I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, I don't think I can actually say I only want to pay off 1,000 or something. I could do 1,000 at a time, but I don't think I'll worry about it. Matthew's turn. Doodad. High school reunion. We'll pay cash. Oh, sorry, Matthew, that was your turn. Oops. Oh, I'm a bad game operator. Having Matthew's turn for him. Opportunity. I'm going to go for another big deal. Shopping mall. Mall for sale. Bank has taken back the mall from bankrupt owner. Mall is currently 50% occupied, just listed today, 19% ROI. May sell for 35 to 150,000, so there's a heap of appreciation available in that. It's a $50,000 down payment, and it's only 800 cash flow. Now there's a heap of appreciation there, but I don't have enough to warrant buying that one. So I'm going to pass on that deal. I'm pretty sure that Scott hasn't got the money, because it's always handy to check on the other players' cash flow to see whether they've actually got, and Matthew hasn't got that much either. So I'm going to pass on deal. Don't want that one. If the cash flow is a bit better, I may have thought about it, but cash flow would have had to have been a lot better than that. This is interesting. Scott hasn't even got close to enough money to be doing half of these deals, but he's got over $5,000, so he's in this. He's looking for him way too early. But that could be a partially reasonable deal for me, actually. I'll have to borrow money to be able to pay for it. I think I said no. Oh, Matthew's going to go no. Oh, I'm not going to buy it for 6,700. He's wanting to sell it for 6,700. Not happening. Matthew's turn. Paycheck. $2. Go for a jog around the board. Market. What do we get in the market today? Direct to you marketing company. So as I was saying earlier, I've actually just joined a direct market DTU company. So I'll pop the details down if you guys want to have a look and check it out. That would be great. If I can figure out how to get this to copy and paste it. Sorry, that's the best I can do at the moment. My pasting, I'm having a few technology challenges at the moment, just because my computer is arguing with StreamYard. So it's making it a little bit difficult. So you may join a direct-to-you, DTU, a direct distribution company. Good products, low starting income, growth prospects for learners and leaders. No promises and much opportunity. Cost is 200, cash flow 0 to start with. But it can go up. There are cards that come up in the market as well as in the deals to increase that. It's certainly no guarantee of an income, but I should have pressed play on Robert Kiyosaki's little recording on that one. I've forgotten what he says on that. Oh, Scott's downsized. Matthew's turn. Big screen TV, Matthew. You got to put on credit card. Yeah, I know. It's sad. But you have to have it. Unfortunately, you don't get a choice with doodads. Doodads you've got to do, whether you want to or not. You've still got your retail debt to pay off, Matthew. Do you want to pay off your retail debt? You've got 2,000 in bank loans too. May as well take those out first. bank loans right down there. I'm going to turn that banner off. You're going to scroll right down the bottom. There we go, that's all you can do. So, my turn. Oh, I'm going to go with the deal. 30% ROI. Yeah, why not?
Good job. Now if you can just pay off your bank loans, you'll get out of the rat race.
Ah, little does he know, I'm deliberately in the rat race. Just so I can get that passive income a little bit higher. That's the one challenge with having a low pay to start off with. When you get into the fast track, you don't have enough money to be able to do the deals that are there. Mutual fund growth for you. Today's price is $20 a share. The trading range is 10 to 30. What would you like to do, Matthew? You've got 580. You're passing on deal?
Nicely done.
I'm going to go with a big deal. Automated business for sale. 100% ROI. So this is cost is 150,000, liability is 120,000. The down payment is 30,000, and the cash flow is 2,500. So I am going to buy that deal. And yes, I know I need a bank loan.
120% for a loan? That's robbery.
Well, maybe, but the loan rate doesn't matter if your return on investment is high enough. Take a look at the return, not the rate of interest.
But it's 120%.
And that one worked well for me. It still kept me in the rat race. I am going to start paying off my debts though, because 5,700 passive income is a nice amount to go into the rat race, into the fast track with. Matthew's turn. Oh, you got another doodad, Matthew. You go to a concert. Doodad. Please don't be the boat. Yay, it's lunch with a friend. As much as a boat would be lovely, I don't like it in cash flow. Limited partner wanted. So 40% ROI. Auto dealer wants to expand into leasing 2 and 3-year-old cars. Needs capital as the maker's finance company is not interested. So down pays 30,000. He's going to want 3,000 for that. You want that, Matthew? I don't think you got the money, have you? No, you only got 1,400. He didn't actually offer me the deal. Isn't that interesting? Probably decided I'm getting too close to winning. Mind you, I've still got to get out of the win the fast track yet. So, big or small deal, Matthew? Mighty for you. Oh, reverse split. Do you have any mighty for you? I don't remember. You'll find out in a second, hey. Oh, that is yours. Yes, you did have some mighty for you. You did have some mighty for you. So your shares would have split, they reverse split. Share market does all sorts of interesting things. So I'm going to go with a big deal, and it's 20,000. I'm not really looking for capital gains options at the moment, so I'm going to pass on that deal, and I'm going to pay off $2,000 worth of bank loans. Because that's how much money I've got. And that will get me, most likely, out of... Oh no, not quite. Still got a bit to go. Oh yeah, I've still got another $600, $700 to pay off before I'm out of the rat race. Now, you got a paycheck? It's a really good game. It really helps you to think through how things work and learn the basics of investing, and it just gives you a way of doing things. It helps you to understand it better. Matthew, do you want to sell your OnToYou shares? You bought your OnToYou shares at $10 a share. You're going to sell all. You made $3,000. Good job.
Good job.
Now you don't have any bank loans to pay off. Well, and Robert, that's part of the reason why I've decided to start playing it on my channel, because I want other people to benefit from this as well. And not to mention it means that I'm consistently playing the game as well. So it's good for me and it's good for others. Yeah, Matthew doesn't have the money for that one. Do you want this deal from Scott, Matthew? I'm assuming no. No. Good choice. It's a fun way to build community too. We can have fun sharing ideas about stuff. And big or small deal, Matthew? House for sale, $5,000 down payment, 38% ROI. May sell for 65,000. No, its cost is 65,000. Sorry, and it may sell for 65 to 135,000. Cash flow is 160. You gonna buy that one? So we're putting the cost down in the asset.
Nicely done.
Down payment is an asset. Mortgage is a liability. Cash flow is a income. Matthew's needs to get a lot to be able to get out. The lawyer is one of the hardest ones to play, actually. I'm going to go with small div to you. I'm not interested in that one, but I am going to pay off another $2,000 of my loans. Because I got like 47,000 in bank loans. As soon as I get them paid off, I'll be sitting pretty. Although paying off the bank loans doesn't actually change my passive income. House for sale. Oh, he didn't offer you to. He borrowed the money for that one. There you go. So Scott and Matthew are starting to get a little bit of passive income happening now. Matthew's turn. Opportunity. Big or small deal, bud? Small deal. OnToYou Entertainment. Today's price is $20 a share. I think you sold them already. I'm assuming you don't want any more? I had to make a decision. It's always interesting. Charity. Donate. I'm going to need a boat loan. Still worth it. I can pay it off. It's not a big drama. My tea for you. Oh, I think you've got some my tea for you, haven't you, Matt? Yep. My tea for you today's price is $10 a share. You bought it $10. I'm assuming you're wanting to pass on that deal. Doodad. Pay cash. Better make sure you don't get parking fines. Opportunity.
My stockbroker says that investing in real estate is risky.
What else would you expect a stockbroker to say about real estate? Why don't you ask a real estate broker what he thinks about stocks?
Well, I wouldn't do that because he doesn't handle stock. Oh, got it.
Big deal or small deal, Matthew? Small deal. Okay for you. Splits 2 for 1. I think it's just... So it's going up and down a bit, that one. Yep. Split, reverse split, and then split again. I'm getting a bit dizzy. It's a bit like the share market, really. Spare time company. Your sales increase significantly. Increase your business income, $250 per month. This business income may not be sold or transferred. So one thing I love about those direct-to-you companies in Cashflow, you just never know when it's going to go up. And it's the same if you're doing that in real life. You just never know when your sales are going to increase. I mean, you can go out and talk to more people. That's always a good way to make it so that you get more sales. I know they say that you should talk to at least 1,000 people if you're wanting to make about 2,000 a month, depending on the company you're with, of course. And what their
Downsides.
compensation plans
It
like.
shouldn't make any difference if you've invested well. Your money will be working even if you're not.
Lots of people think, oh, I'm going to get into network marketing. I'm going to talk to 3 people, and one of them is just going to make me $1 million. And that doesn't work that way. It's network marketing. It's not sit on your backside and watch somebody else do all the work. I think I'm going to pay off that $6,000. And that should get me out of the rat race, I believe. Yeah, I'll do that easily. See, now my little line's gone squiggly. I'm in the fast track. Haven't won yet. But you'll start to see why I wanted to make sure I had a decent amount of money to come in here. So what happens when you get into the fast track is they basically times your money by 100,000. But then to win the game, you've either got to land on your dream or increase your cash flow income by $50,000. So that'll be in this section here. So Scott's still in the rat race, as is Matthew. My tea for you, today's price is $1. A really good share, really good for somebody to buy at, not a good one to sell at. Assuming you do not want to sell, Matthew. This would be what Tom Lee refers to as buying the dip. Honestly, a lot of people get really nervous when the share prices go down because their share prices could go down to zero. It is highly possible. But if you look at what the actual fundamentals of the company is, so I've got a deal of heat and air conditioning service, get 10,000 per month cash flow with a 60% cash on cash return for only 200,000 down payment. I'm going to buy that
Nicely
one.
done.
So it's really important that if you're going to buy shares and stock and everything, that you actually look at the fundamentals of the company and make sure that it's a good deal and see, is the price undervalued? Is the company worth a lot more than what they're paying? Like at the moment, a lot of companies actually got down so a lot of share prices got down so low that the company itself started buying back their shares. So I like to buy these dreams when I can. So this is a private fishing cabin on a mountain lake. That sounds like a dream you'd love, hey Robert. You can have your aquaponics swimming, your fish swimming around and your frogs swimming around in the dam. I did get the fish from the dock with the remote cabin, enjoy 6 months of solitude. So yes, that's what happens when you buy a dream. You get to see the little cartoon. It's a little bit of fun. You get to choose your dream at the beginning. Computer player went to go play golf. Matthew's turn. Dentist. Ah, kids have got to have their teeth done. Dinner with the president. Buy a table for 10 friends to dine with the president at a gala ball for visiting dignitaries from around the world. Can you imagine what you'd tell them to do? Aside from stop being larrikins and use some sense. Implement some common sense for once. I'm going to buy that. Although I probably wouldn't want to have dinner with the president. Oh, maybe. I don't know. Not really into politics. It gets you into trouble. Although I do have to go and vote. I need to remember to do that actually. Matthew's turn. Totally not relevant to anybody in America. You want to donate, Matthew? Roll the dice. And I get cash flow day. So 605,000. It's not bad money. Got to learn how to invest well though to make that happen. And finding the deals. And making sure that you. Why would you sell that one? I'm assuming a no for that, Matthew. Scott's trying to offer you the sister-in-law borrows money deal. If you're going to lend money to your sister-in-law, don't expect the money back. That's one thing I know about that card. It never returns in the market. So if you're going to lend money to her, just give it to her. Big or small deal, Matthew? You've got $1,212. Small deal. Oh, look at that. Okay for you. Today's price is $30 a share. You wanting to sell? Yay! $6,000. Would you like to pay off any of your loans or do you want to keep the money? I think you probably should pay off your 6,000 loan. It'll help increase your cash flow a little bit because you're struggling a bit there. It's a bit sad, really. A lawyer and he's only getting $600 a month cash flow after expenses. That's really sad. Paying off those loans helped. I think that was all of your loans. Yep, all your bank loans are paid off now. If some of those investments that you've made pay off, good. Save the ocean barrels. Fund a hang on. Is it fund and be a crew member on a month-long research expedition to protect endangered sea animals. Can do the Heimlich maneuver on that dolphin. Bathroom, 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom. It's not a bad deal. It's a good deal, that one. You want that one, Matthew? 4,000 down, 140 cash flow. You don't want it? It's a good deal. Yeah, cough it up, dolphin. Absolutely. Okay. That's too late. I passed on it already. Oh, actually, no. Oh, hang on. That wasn't even your deal. That was Scott. He was trying to sell it to you for 750. There you go. Now you might get a decent deal. Small deal? Mighty for you. Today's price is $30 a share. Look at that, Matthew. You want to sell all? 30,000 cold hard cash. Now he can start doing the big deals. Golf around the world? Yeah, why not? Not really into golf, but hey. I'm not going to be stingy if I've got that much money, hey. Although, honestly, I would probably do a lot better things with it than that. I've got a friend that's in Pakistan, and she works with the families that work are slaves in the brick kilns. So I would really like to help with that a lot more. 2 dice, Matthew? I've also got a friend in Papua New Guinea who runs a school. I'd love to be able to help her more. Big deal, Matthew? Let's see, what's he going to get? 8plex for sale. 28% ROI, may sell for 200 to 280,000. Cost is 240,000. Down payment's 40,000. Cash flow is 950. What would you like to do, Matthew? What have we got?
What I'm going to go into are the pros and cons of these 3 assets. As I said, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, to be an entrepreneur, to build a business takes massive, probably more emotional skills and people skills. So if you're very good with people, know how to sell, know how to raise capital, know how to go to the market, talk to employees, business is the one for you. But again, for me, it took 5, 10, 20 years of training to become a business owner. Second is real estate. Real estate has many advantages. The number one advantage of all is that of all the investment categories, it's the easiest one for the banker to give you money. You know, it's tough to get a loan for business sometimes, and I've never met a banker yet who would give me a 30-year, 5% loan for a mutual fund. But in real estate, it has advantages. I use my banker's money. They're easy to finance. And the great thing about real estate, it's dumb. It doesn't move. So if you really know what you're doing with real estate, in my opinion, is the best one for the masses of people. The reason paper is such an attractive asset, again, is because it's so easy to get into. To make it very, for $50, you can buy one. It takes very little intelligence, very little maintenance. The problem with paper assets, you know, again, is volatility. Markets go up, markets go down, and markets go sideways. And the problem with paper assets, for most people, they have no protection from the downside protection. Paper assets generally do well when the market goes up. They lose everything coming down. So reviewing again, the reason I like real estate is Number one is my banker will give me money for it. And number two, the tax laws are most favorable for real estate owners and business owners. So those are some of the basic differences between the three different types of assets. RichDad.com is committed to giving you the basic information so that you can do well in all three assets.
And in 202, he teaches you a little bit on how you can make money when the market's going down. So Matthew's decided he's going to pass on that deal.
Even with a bank loan, that investment would have provided positive cash flow.
Yes, it would have, but not that much. Matthew's turn. Big deal, Matthew. Fourplex, 48% ROI, may sell for 100,000 to 140,000. Cost is 100,000. Mortgage is 80. Down payment is 20, and the cash flow is 800. Yep, that's a good one, Matthew.
There you go.
And that one had his money working a lot harder for him than the previous one. He got much better returns for that one. Buy a forest. Stop the loss of ancient trees. Donate 1,000 acres of forest and create a nature walk for all to enjoy. You see, if I had this kind of money, I probably would do that. Flex buyer. Buyer offers 35,000 per unit for all units in any combination of duplex, fourplex, or eightplex. You did just buy one, and you can now sell that one. It was an eightplex too, wasn't it? Let's find it. Have a look down in the balance sheet. No, it's only a fourplex. So you'll probably get about $20,000 profit on that one. Better than a kick up the backside. Do you want to sell it or do you want to keep it? Yeah, it is. So that's one of the highest prices you'll get for the fourplex. Eightplexes are nice. Let's put nice 74,000 cash in his pocket, which is going to make it so that he can really start doing some decent big deals. See, that would have gotten him 5,000 less. So it's a good thing he sold it on the previous turn. Yacht racing. You and your crew fly to Perth, Australia. Spend 1 week racing a 12-meter against the fastest boats in the world. Yeah, it's not something I would really like to do, but as I said, if I'm going to have that kind of money, I'm not going to be stingy. $25% ROI for this house, Matthew. 3-2 house. Scott wants to sell it to you for $1,200. 65 may sell for 65 to 135,000. Cost is 65,000. It's 150. It could have some reasonable appreciation.
That's the way to do it.
Big or small deal, Matthew? House for sale, 40% ROI. Down payment is 12,000. Cash flow is 400. That's a good deal. Tim likes it. He's nodding his head. Just because it's a big deal doesn't mean it's a good deal. Might be expensive, but that doesn't mean it's good. Ah, tax audit. I lose half my money. But that's okay. I'll go past cash flow again. And it was only half, not all of it. Divorce is a lot worse. Limited partner wanted 48% ROI. I always like the limited partners. And he bought it. How much money has he got at the moment anyway? Oh, he's got 26,000. His turn. He looks bad if he doesn't have paid 220,000 for a frozen pizza. It's a limited partnership in a frozen pizza, not just the pizza itself. The Russian oil deal. Now this could win me the game. So earn 75,000 per month, which gets me over the cash flow. But I've got to roll a 4 or higher on one dice. Otherwise, I make nothing. One die, sorry. Matthew corrected me. It's one die, not dice. And it's going to cost me 300,000 to go into it. So let's see how we go. It was successful.
Congratulations. That was a good deal.
The game is done. So there we go. It gives you the score at the end. It's not a quick game. It's not in the realms of cash flow of Monopoly where it can take days. But it is. Yay! Jonathan won the other night and he was really excited. So you got all the credits there. Yeah, so there's a whole heap of Robert's got his videos here as well. So I'll play the introduction to Cashflow.
Hello, my name is Robert Kiyosaki. I'm the author of the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and also the creator of the board game Cashflow. So I want to thank you for your interest in the board game Cashflow as well as this new electronic version of it. When I am asked why did I create this board game, I created it simply because I wanted to be able to find a way of teaching people the same important financial literacy and financial intelligence lessons my rich dad taught me. I had to find a way of compressing it, making it short, making it fun, to compress basically 30 years of education into one game board. So I'd like to explain why it was created and also the two main lessons you can learn from this game. Lesson number one is you'll learn how to be an investor. Today, all of us need to learn how to invest, especially with these flaky 401k and these risky mutual funds and the stock market going up and down. We all need to learn how to become investors. On the board game Cashflow, you will learn what very few people learn. You will learn about the 4 different levels of investor. Level number 1 is a small deal. And that's where most people should start at. As a little boy, I started investing in small real estate and small stock deals. Level 2 is the big deal. As you get more money and become more sophisticated as an investor in real life and on this board game, you do go to level 2, which is big deals. The third level is a level that the rich invest in. This is called the fast track. The 1933 Securities Exchange Act defined that only the people who are rich were allowed to invest on the fast track. You had to be a millionaire. And the fourth level is Cashflow 202, which uses the same game board to play that game. Cashflow 202 is what the sophisticated investors use. It's called technical trading, how to use insurance when you invest, how to make money when the market goes up and the market goes down. So those are the four basic lessons about investing you will learn by playing this game. Four lessons that most people never even know exist. Four levels of investing that most people have never heard about. So by playing this game, you will learn how to be an investor, you'll be introduced to the really complete world, the complete whole world of investing. That's one of the most important things you'll learn from this game. The second thing you will learn is you will learn how to use an income statement and balance sheet. In other words, you will learn to understand what accountants know. This year's income statement, this is the balance sheet. My rich dad said, if you want to be successful in the world of business and investing, you have to be financially literate. And financial literacy begins with this here. My rich dad also said that, his banker has never once asked him for his report card. His banker never asked him if he had good grades or what school he went to. He says, in the real world, once you leave school, what your banker asks you for is your financial statement. So the two important lessons you will learn from this game are, one is about the four levels of investing, and two, the levels of accounting. Given all the problems we've had in the stock market lately, you'll realize that many of the analysts were giving bad financial advice because the analysts could not read a financial statement. They could not see the big companies actually lying and cheating the investing public. So that's why I created the board game Cash Flow. Two main lessons. One, the four levels of investing, and two, the importance of financial literacy. Cash Flow is the only game that teaches you both lessons in one game. That's the power of the game. It's what my rich dad taught me, and that's why I'm excited about you taking a look at this game for yourselves.
Oh, yes. Monopoly can get quite heated. My sisters actually used to hide $500 bills under the card table so that they could totally thrash me in it. It wasn't very fair. Yeah, some very heated Monopoly games. Yeah, I've been learning from Robert Kiyosaki for a long time. I wish I'd applied some more of his lessons a little bit earlier, but I've actually learned a lot more as well. And I'm planning on sharing some of the information that I've been learning. So I've been gathering some mentors. One, Dave Ramsey, brilliant with the baby step program. And oh, the Barefoot Investor, Scott Pape, he's another really good one. I really enjoy listening to him. And Bob Lotic is another one that I've been learning from lately. So yeah, there's some really great guys out there that are sharing their wisdom on how finances work so that the rest of us have half a clue on what we're looking for. So yes. So there's all sorts of interesting things. So one of the things that I like about this is he's got a thing on network marketing as well. So I'll pop that up.
I'm often asked, why do I recommend network marketing, especially since I'm not in the network marketing business? And like many people, early on, I had a very negative or closed-minded attitude towards network marketing.
Absolutely.
But I've changed my mind. I've opened up the way that I think, and I've looked at the network marketing industry, and I find some things that are extremely beneficial, especially for people who are looking to make some changes from the E and the S over to the right side of the quadrant. One of the beauties of network marketing, it actually teaches the mental, emotional, and technical skills to be in the B quadrant. Because somebody in network marketing has the potential of building a system with over 500 people in it, plus unlimited income. The things that network marketing teaches you is the most important skill in the B quadrant is the ability to sell. One of the reasons I worked for the Xerox Corporation when I got out of the Marine Corps was to learn how to sell. My rich dad said, if you're going to be in the business quadrant and become big business, you must learn how to sell or communicate to employees, to specialists, to investors to raise capital, as well as to my customers. So communication or sales skills are essential for somebody in the B quadrant. And the network marketing industry, not all of them, but some of them have excellent training programs to teach you how to sell, how to communicate, how to build businesses. The other thing that's beautiful about the network marketing industry, it teaches you self-confidence. Because the reason many people are not good in the B quadrant is they're afraid of rejection. And network marketing teaches you to handle your own fears, overcome your fear of rejection, and build that self-confidence. And that's essential for the B quadrant. Also, it gives you time. In the real world, when I worked for Xerox as an employee for 4 years, if I didn't sell, I was fired. The beauty of network marketing industry is they'll work with you. You can take as much time as you like to develop those skills. As your skills increase, so does your income. Take 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. It takes time to develop those skills. The network marketing industry gives you education and the time to build that self-confidence. Once you have your business up, the reason the cash flow game is so important, and you have all this excess money coming from your business, then you can invest your money into real estate and stocks and bonds. And that's what the cash flow game teaches you how to do, is how to be a successful and proficient investor, especially an investor on the fast track. The fast track is where the rich invest. So the beauty of network marketing, it works really hand in hand. It builds you up, teaches you how to increase your income, builds your self-confidence, and then the cash flow game teaches you how to invest. And that's why I recommend network marketing, and that's why I work hand in hand with so many of those businesses.
So I hope you found that interesting. I hope you've really enjoyed joining us on our cash flow game. We'll be doing this each night, well, not each night, but on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Oh, 8:30, sorry. Um, and that is my plan. um, so for anybody that logs in and links in, and we may get one or two games going. It just depends on how long it takes. You just never know how long a different game is going to take because it's different each time. Each game is different. You just never know what opportunities you're going to get, what deals you're going to get, how long what's going to come up in the market. But yeah, I hope you've really enjoyed tonight and following along, and that you'll come along next week and join in. And if you'd like to have a look at the network marketing company that I have joined, I would love to help you with that. The link is in the description, as well as I will put it into the. I'm having a few challenges with some technology at the moment, so um, give me a second. See, so I'll put the link in for the network marketing company that I've joined. I was actually really fortunate. So it's been a very long time since I've looked at network marketing seriously. Um, Simply because I'm very particular on the kind of company that I'll work with. And really, the only two that I've really solidly built have been New Ways and Modere, and now I'm joining with Cecil. Sizzle. I don't know why I keep calling it Sizzle. Cecil. It's Sizzle. um, but yeah, so the people that founded New Ways back 20 odd years ago, well, they started it before that, but I was in New Ways 20 odd years ago. Um, had the good fortune of actually being mentored by the top ranking distributor in Modere and New Ways. And I've learned some significant skills on how to build a network marketing business, and I know how it works. I'm not going to just go, hey, I'm going to sign up one person, I'm going to make millions out of their networking skills. No, because that's not how it works. You've got to, it's network marketing. It's not net playing, but net playing. It's network marketing. Um, you you have to talk to people. Yeah, there are people that make $10,000 a month in 12 months, but they've spoken to 10,000 people. They haven't just spoken to three people and gotten lucky. They've put the effort in. They've been willing to learn. They've been willing to grow. They've been willing to learn about the products. They've been willing to learn about the industry. They've been willing to learn about the business itself. They've got confidence in what they're doing. And one of the things I really love about Sizzle is the founders of the company, the Mowers. I know that they have a solid mission to provide safe, harmful free uh, products that are free from harmful ingredients. And they've had that mission for 40 years. They have got a lot of experience in creating really powerful products to be able to help people with their health issues. And I'm hoping it's going to have a significant impact on my health too, because as many of you know that following my channel for any length of time, I've been having a few health problems lately. Um, so yeah, I'm hopeful, but if nothing else, I've changed brands, and that's probably the first thing that people could do if they're wanting to help my channel is actually look at Sizzle, see what products they sell that you use. Like, do you use toothpaste? Pick it up from Sizzle. Do you use laundry powder? Pick it up from Sizzle. So just change brands and use Sizzle. Um, it would be really helpful for my channel, and you can actually earn some loyalty bonuses as well. But over the next few months, I'll be sharing more information on that journey as we go. Um, so yes, I hope you all really enjoyed it, and I'm really grateful for you coming along and joining in because it's always fun having commenters, having people in the chat, and I've missed seeing you guys. Um, so yeah, so the goal is to be playing Cashflow 101 at the very least, and eventually once we've got a bit of a community going, we'll start doing 202 as well, because that starts to look into more technical sides of trading and options and calls and puts and shorting and all that sort of thing with the stock market, as well as giving a more complete understanding of how it works. So it's got a little ticker thing playing and everything. I may actually even end up doing it before that, just to show everyone what the options are. um, but yeah, interestingly, I actually found out about the board game Cashflow through network marketing. Um, so it was one of the things that Christine really recommended to all of her team was that we were learners and grow, and that we were growing, and that we were developing an understanding of things. She brought some amazing personal development coaches along, and that's one of the big things that makes a huge difference in network marketing is everybody comes in and has the same product and they have the same company. The difference is you. What do you bring to the table? What's your experience? Are you a good people person, or do you sit there pointing your finger at people all the time and making people dislike you? um, do you know how to talk to people, or would you prefer to talk to your dog? Which talking to dogs is a great idea. I would have my puppy around at the moment, but he's gone to bed with Jonathan. um, so yeah, people skills are a really important thing, and that's another thing that I've learned as part of my journey. A lot of people have had some big issues with network marketing, um, and have been burnt a little bit, and part of that has been because they've not known what they're doing. And one of the big things I'm wanting to do with my team is train them and help them to improve their lives. And what I've learnt through network marketing over the years has far exceeded anything else. It gave me the courage to be able to complete my degree. I wouldn't have my IT degree without going through network marketing, simply because it gave me the confidence to think that I could do it. Because when I went to school, I was lucky to get C's. I've got dyslexia. I transpose numbers and letters all over the place. It's really hard. I have learning challenges, but the philosophies that I learnt through network marketing and through the personal development has completely radically transformed my life, and it's made it so that when bad stuff happens, I reframe it and I find out, okay, what can I have learnt from this? Anyway, I'm going to get off a bit of my hobby horse now. um, it's it was really educational. I learnt so much, um, and getting to be around people that, as a single mum in from a low socioeconomic area, because that's what when I first found network marketing, I was a single mum, and I had no education. I had no family support. I had no idea what I was doing whatsoever. I had the people skills of a gnat. um, I was very easily manipulated and had no clue. Um, and my dad had died when I was 10, so I had no one. I had no one there to help me. And I got a lot of mentoring through New Ways and through Christine and through all of the people that I met. Um, and people from different walks of life. They came in with so many different skills and so many different attitudes, and learning and meeting people and finding out that, hey, you can change your life, you can make a huge difference. Um, but yeah, things might be going bad at the moment, but that doesn't mean they're going to continue going bad. Things will change, things will improve. If you keep learning and growing, you will get better. You will make a difference. You will, if you keep trying and you don't give up, you will succeed. One of my mentors from network marketing has I've learnt so many philosophies for life that have helped me through the last 5 years. Um, that have given me the strength to keep going when the house flooded, when I broke my leg, when I got the Graves' disease and the double vision. I could have just curled up in a ball and gone, I'm done. It's too hard. When my marriage fell apart, I could have just gone, I'm done. It's, but I can't do that because I know that tomorrow is another day and I have a future and a hope. And God's got a plan and a purpose for my life. Um, and actually, I think I might share a video. I'm not sure if it's quite the video that I'm looking for specifically. Um, but there was a video that well, it was actually a CD that I listened to 20 years ago. It's called The Murphy's Committee. And it's made by a gentleman named Jerry Clark. And I believe I found a copy of it on YouTube the other day, earlier. So I don't know if I'll just see.
Hello, this is Jerry.
Oh, that one's just that background, so that's not very interesting. Hang on for a second. I will stick this on the screen. Not that you can really see anything. It's a bit of a boring screen, really. But there we go. So this is the Murphy's Committee. Um, this is this is a really good CD to let people have a listen to when they first get started in network marketing, because they get in and they're going, yeah, I'm going to tell my family and they're all going to sign up and I'm going to be a millionaire tomorrow. It's not going to happen. I hate to be positively disappointing, but it's not going to happen. Yeah, you might start, but more than likely, the first 100 odd people you talk to are going to say no. That's just all there is to it. But I'm going to share this with you. It's a bit of a long video, but I mean, feel free to stay and have a listen. I liken Jerry Clark to the Eddie Murphy of education. You laugh yourself silly and you're learning at the same time. I've learnt so much from this man over the years that have really transformed the way I deal with life. Like reframing was one of the techniques that he taught me. Um, and I've used that so much. And part of my diploma in counselling that I'm doing at the moment, it's actually been a technique that they've just started teaching us how to use. And I'm like, I know how to do that. I've been doing that for decades. um, Jerry actually gives an example in one of his CDs where he teaches you how he tells you a story about how he did a business deal and it cost him 20 grand and it was a bad deal. And he was just so upset for a little while. And he picked himself up by his bootstraps and he's like, you know what? That hurt. But I'm going to look at this like it was a learning experience. Like this was a seminar that I went to and I paid $20,000 for this seminar. So what have I learned from it? What is the $20,000 in value? that I've gotten out of this experience. How can I learn and not get caught by this again? It, it's how when my house flooded and I realized that my concrete was wet constantly and I just didn't know it. But with the house flooding, we ended up having to rip up the carpet, and I found out that concrete was always wet. So there was always a mold issue there. I just didn't know it. That was a massive blessing in disguise. Yes, I lost 200 grand in equity overnight. Gone. My insurance rejected the claim. I'm never going to get that money back. But I've learnt a lot. I learnt a lot. For one, I learnt that I had my faith in the wrong place. And when it comes down to it, my father, the creator of the universe, owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. He loves me very much, and he is my provider and my protector. And he will never leave me or forsake me. And he won't leave or forsake you either. I've gone off on a little bit of a hobby horse there, haven't I? I totally got distracted. I wouldn't do that, would I? I've been through a lot, and I've learnt so much. Your time with Amway was your biggest personal growth in your life from all you learned? Absolutely. Amway's fantastic. So interestingly, when I tried to join Amway, I'd been a discharged bankrupt and they wouldn't let me join. Their loss. Honestly, I'm really grateful they didn't take me on because that was when I ended up finding new ways afterwards. It's really interesting. Anyway, I'm going to press play to the Murphy's Committee, and I'd love to. It's just, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you find it helpful, and I hope it inspires you. And over the next few months, I'm going to be sharing a lot more on personal development and how to overcome challenges when they hit, and how you can keep going. And I know I'm on the edge of the swamp at the moment, and I'm about to get through. The Murphy's Committee is done. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this. Let's have a listen. It's been a long time since I've listened to it, actually. It's going to be good.
Hello, this is Jerry Clark, and I want to welcome all of you to Murphy's Committee, the Interference of Magic. I am so excited about the material we're going to discuss on this tape. It is absolutely some of my favorite information to share with people who still have that twinkle in their eye. People like you who still have dreams and who sincerely want to turn their dreams into reality. Why do I say those who still have dreams, you may ask? Well, I'll be willing to bet $1 million that you, and yes, I do mean you, have already been pursuing your dreams, your goals, and your aspirations, and that most of you are still coming up empty-handed. I truly respect each and every last one of you listening to this tape program because you have not given up. You see, we all grow up as children with dreams of being somebody, with dreams of being great. But most of us, slowly but surely, get our dreams beaten out of us through the hardships and the daily challenges of life. And the easiest thing to do when you get slapped across the face a few times by life is to give up. And unfortunately, that's what most people do. But then there are a few driven individuals like you who want to know, what is that outside force that tends to slap people across the face when they're pursuing their dreams and their goals and their aspirations? And what can you do to beat this strange force at their own game? Well, I'm here to tell you that the name of this strange force who wants to stop you from accomplishing your goals and your dreams is called Murphy's Committee. Murphy's Committee has a group of 5 members who have set up an operation in the universe that will test a person's level of commitment to the dreams, goals, and aspirations in which they're pursuing. I call them the interferers of magic. Briefly, let me give you a background on how this concept came to me. When I was 18 years old, I had developed a goal to be a millionaire by the age of 25, because at that age, I thought success was strictly a monetary accomplishment. Therefore, anything that anyone did that didn't involve making money, I thought was an absolute waste of time. Everything I did had something to do with making money. If I wasn't actually working to make money, I was studying something that I thought could make me money. I couldn't understand how people could read a book just for the enjoyment or the pleasure of it. I couldn't see how they could just sit back and watch TV for hours unless it had something to do with how they can better their financial situation. I couldn't see how people could work hard all week just to have the ability to go to parties and nightclubs on the weekend so they could spend all of their money on drinking and drugs and so forth. I mean, people would actually do things to themselves over the weekend that by the time Monday arrived, they had forgotten what they did. It was the most meaningless and ridiculous behavior I had ever heard or seen in my entire life. The bottom line is that I stayed focused on money-making endeavors. And by the time I had reached the age of 19, I was rolling in the money. I was barely out of puberty, but I was making more money than most lawyers and doctors made. I was well on my way to becoming a bona fide self-made millionaire, so I had to play the part. I started buying Italian suits, Rolex watches, and silk underwear. The money was coming in faster than I could figure out what to do with them, and so I started buying fancy cars. I mean, one of the cars I bought was a candy apple red Mercedes-Benz SL with chrome rims. I mean, man, this thing was incredible. People everywhere thought I was a drug dealer. Even the ones that knew that I would never deal or use drugs thought I had to be one because they couldn't figure out where all this money was coming from. Even the police department where I lived did a big background investigation on me. They actually called a Mercedes-Benz dealership and asked how I purchased the car. They had cops trying to be friends with me so they can figure out what I was up to. They seriously thought I was doing something illegal. They thought that the legitimate businesses that I had were only cover-ups for some illegal operation I was up to. It was absolutely amazing all the theories that people had with what I was doing. They actually spent mental energy trying to figure it out when all they had to do was kindly ask me and I would have gladly showed anyone. Well, the fact of the matter is they didn't ask and I didn't care. I just went about my own business of making money. I remember people telling me that I should stop and smell the roses, but I couldn't figure out how smelling roses could make me a millionaire by 25. I didn't even develop serious and committed relationships with my girlfriends because I thought that they would only slow me down. I was on track to making it big in America and I was loving every bit of it. By the time I reached 21, I had worked so hard and had made so much money that I thought I had arrived. By this time, I also started feeling very tired and worn out. I literally slept approximately 14 to 16 hours per week. Yes, that's 2 to 3 hours per night. And I did this for nearly 4 years. The toll on my body had finally caught up with me. I had completely burnt out. I was physically exhausted. I quit working all of my income generating businesses and started spending the small fortune I had accumulated. I started hanging out in Beverly Hills and living like the rich and famous. I stayed at expensive hotels and dined at fancy restaurants. Before I knew it, I had spent tens of thousands of dollars and maxed out all of my credit cards. I remember looking at my savings account and seeing only $8,000 left. I was used to spending that in a month. This is when I realized that I was broke and that I was too tired to do anything about it. I remember thinking my life is over because I believe that once you have zero cash, once you had nothing at all left, that's it, you're gone. Well, to my amazing discovery, when I had finally reached zero cash, I realized I was still breathing. I was still alive. I found out that you can actually go past zero, that you can actually have less than nothing and still be alive. I had another revelation while I was down and out. I kept thinking that there had to be a way for me to get back on my feet. There just had to be a way. And you know what? You ask and you shall what? Receive. Exactly. Well, I asked, and about 75 days later, I received the answer. I went outside one morning and I discovered my cars were gone. You see, the lesson I learned was that missing 2 car payments would get you back on your feet because now I had to get good at walking. My bills were piling up. Creditors were calling daily. Some were even knocking on my door. I eventually had to move back home with my mom. I got terribly out of shape and I didn't shave for months. I stayed in a low down and depressed state for about 8 months. I couldn't believe what had happened. The excellent credit in which I had deliberately developed was destroyed. All of the fancy cars, expensive jewelry, Italian suits, and portable phones, the $3,000 to $5,000 in cash that I always carried, foolishly, by the way, in my glove compartment was all gone. The house I was to buy at 22 was now just a memory. What had happened? I thought, why did this happen to me? I was a 100% legitimate young man doing my best to make it in America. I went to college for 4 years like I was told to. I got good grades. I didn't drink. I didn't smoke. I didn't do drugs. I didn't even drink coffee. All I wanted to do was show people that it's possible to achieve their dreams if they only followed the recipe of going to school, getting good grades, working hard at a job or jobs, and being committed to their work. How could this have happened? I stayed in this condition for 8 months trying to figure it out, and I had to come up with some sort of explanation just to keep my sanity. I remember one night I was I remember one night I was listening to a tape by Les Brown, and I remember him saying that the messengers of misery paid him a visit on several occasions while he was pursuing his dreams. He was relating this to Murphy's Law, which states that whatever could go wrong probably will. During this time, I also came across a book written by a guy named Scott Alexander named Rhinoceros Success. It has some interesting principles and analogies. It talked about how some people are like cows and some are like rhinos. Since Scott first published his book back in 1980, many other marketing companies use this analogy for illustrating certain points to their sales force. Anyway, it was during this time that I created Murphy's Committee. I combined what I had heard from Les Brown and what I had read from Scott Alexander and called the entire concept Murphy's Committee. Now, I understand that Murphy's Committee is an imaginary committee created by me in my own mind as a way to understand and deal with what was happening to me at that particular stage of my life. And it has been instrumental in dealing with all the challenges which has come my way since then. And over the years, I've also shared this concept with people who've been facing some difficulties and some challenges in their lives, and they said it was very helpful for them. You see, anything that you want to accomplish that's of any significant magnitude can only be found on the other side of the jungle. It's obvious that the jungle is not the safest place to be. In order to survive the dangers of the jungle, you have to be in a peak mental and physical condition. You must have thick skin, a strong heart, and a charging spirit. These are some of the characteristics of a rhinoceros. You see, rhinos have thick skin, about 2 to 3 inches worth, so that all the gnats and the bugs and even the occasional arrows won't kill them. It bounces right off, and they just keep charging through the jungle. They are rarely bothered by other creatures in the jungle, and they rarely bother any of the other creatures themselves. Overall, they're peaceful creatures who are very focused on what they want. However, if you get in their way, watch out. You have 2 to 3 tons of pure rhino charging at you head down with a horn that it will stick in various dark places in your body. Ouch! You see, I believe that we're all born with the rhino spirit, but most of us are trained to be cows. Cows are passive creatures who graze through the pastures, accepting whatever comes their way. Cows don't believe that they can take control of their life and create their destiny. They are what I call volunteer victims of the system. They voluntarily give up their freedom for a mediocre existence. I mean, if you give a cow a regular income, some medical benefits, a couple of weeks per year of paid vacations, throw in a life insurance policy and promise them a pension that's going to pay them 30% of what wasn't enough in the first place, and a cow would give you their life for it. Cows try their best to live a risk-free existence in the pastures. If it's easy, they want it. If it's comfortable, they'll take it. If it's normal and traditional, they're open to it. And if all the other cows are doing it, then it must be the right thing to do. They have been conveniently programmed to believe that they don't have a choice on how their life turns out. They just do what the system tells them they must do in order to be successful. For example, they are told to go to school, get a good education, so that way they can get their good job with a big and stable company. While at this job, all they have to do is work hard, be loyal and industrious, and after 20 or 30 years, they'll find themselves in upper management positions with stock options. And by the time they retire, they're told that they'll be set for life. You'll have a great pension and Social Security. Oh, security. They love that word. And they'll have a wad that's big enough to choke a horse. Well, what usually happens is this. They get up in the morning to fight traffic while going to work. Then they work all day while constantly watching the clock. Then they fight traffic on the way back home from work. They eat a little dinner, they watch TV, they take a shower, and they go to bed so they can repeat the same thing over the next day. They spend their whole week looking forward to the 2 days they have off. Then they complain because they have more month left at the end of the money. Family vacations consist of driving to the nearest campsite for the weekend. Or if they happen to fly to another city, they stay in cheap hotels and justify by saying, well, we're not going to spend much time here anyway, so let's just go ahead and stay in this cheap place. Everything cows do consists of tight budgets, and they constantly worry about not being able to pay their rent for occupying their space on the cow pasture. Now, don't get me wrong. Even young rhinos in training occasionally may feel the same way, but they keep charging and they keep creating. You see, cows don't believe in creation. They believe in competition. They are constantly looking at the other cows to see if their grass is greener. Well, by the time they reach the point that they're supposed to retire, and the system tells them right around 65 years of age, they usually say something like this. Moo. The bottom line is this. They get the feeling that they've been had, but they still can't figure out what happened. They think of all the things they wanted to do, but never got a chance to do. And they wonder what their life would have been like if only they had done this, or if only they had done that. By this time, they realize that they are headed for the slaughterhouse. Cows live the most depressing lives that exist on our planet. And what's even more depressing than that is that they make up a majority of our population, at least 90%. Rhinos, on the other hand, believe in excitement and adventure. They thrive on the dynamic energy and challenges that exist only in the jungle. They couldn't handle the passivity and the mediocrity of the cow pastures. There's nothing there but grass and manure. Rhinos realize that on one side of the jungle is the cow pastures, and on the other side is the land of paradise. And all of their high aspirations, their goals, their desires are found on the side where the land of paradise exists. Rhinos realize that there's danger in the jungle. They know that reaching the other side will not be easy, but easy is not an option for them, because if success was easy, guess what? It wouldn't be success. It would be mediocrity. You see, it's easy to be broke, poor, miserable, unhappy, and overweight. It's easy to be bored and frustrated. It's easy to give up your freedom. It's easy to sit in the cow pastures and watch TV every day and wonder why you're not getting anywhere. It's easy to give up on your dreams, your goals, and your aspirations. It's easy to just sit there and listen to these tapes without completing the exercises. It's easy to just sit passively and watch things happen. Rhinos don't sit back and watch things happen. They make things happen. They don't wait for their circumstances they want. They create the circumstances they want. They don't focus on all the problems of life. They focus on the solutions. Rhinos take action, massive action, towards the attainment of their goals. Rhinos realize the power of their mind, and they learn and utilize the tools and strategies that will help them get what they want out of life. And most importantly, they understand that even though taking advantage of the tools and strategies that exist today is great and powerful, it is even more powerful to get off their butts and take action. You see, with thought, what you want is brought to you, and with action, it is received. This entire concept of rhinos, cows, and the jungle is just a way to let you know that even though you apply these principles, and even though you apply the concepts and the strategies and so forth, it's not going to be a cakewalk to your dreams. If this was the case, then everyone would be in line to enter the jungle. However, out of 100% of our population, only 10% will enter the jungle, and out of those 10% that enter, only 30% of them will make it across to the land of paradise. The other 70% will either return to the cow pastures or die in the jungle. Therefore, only 3% of our population will ever make it to the other side of the jungle. The other 97% end up either dead or dead broke. They end up depending on their friends, family, or the federal government for their main source of income. Now, if so far you've been bothered by this discussion of cows and rhinos, it means one or two things. Number one, you are currently a rhino in training who somehow is confused wandering around in the cow pastures. Deep down inside, you know you don't belong in the pastures, but you've forgotten where the jungle entrance is. Or number two, you have been systematically inbred and trained and conditioned as a cow, and you're wondering why you're even listening to this tape program. You may believe that all this talk about cows, rhinos, in the jungle is the silliest thing you've ever heard. And by the way, Wheel of Fortune or some other TV program is on and you should be watching it, you're thinking. Well, if you're a rhino in training lost in the cow pastures, don't worry, because you're right on track to get back to the jungle. You are most likely the one who either completed all of the exercises contained in the Creating Magic series, or you already think you know it all. Well, if you didn't complete the exercises because you think you know it all, that is probably the main reason why you're not accomplishing your dreams. That is probably the main reason why you find yourself lost in the cow pastures. That is probably the main reason why you're kind of lost and thinking, good grief, where am I? I'm not supposed to be here. If you feel that you're a conditioned cow, don't feel too bad, because at least you're still listening. That's a good sign. It means your rhino spirit is being released. And the more you listen to these tapes, and the more you listen to other tapes on personal empowerment and read books and go to seminars and so forth, the more your power is going to be released. The more of that genie that lies within you is going to be released, and it's going to be revealed right there in front of you. The key point to remember is what I said earlier in this tape. Everyone, and I do mean everyone, is born with the spirit of a rhino, but most of us are trained to be cows. I say this because we all came here with an incredible drive. After all, we won our first race. Let me explain. You see, we had to outswim millions of other sperm in order to be the first to get to and fertilize the egg. It was an uphill swim, and we made it first. As far as I'm concerned, everyone that exists on this planet has the rhino spirit deep inside of them and is a winner. It's just that some of us are more brainwashed than others. We are brainwashed to believe that we can't achieve, that we can't have all that we really want, that we have to be mediocre, and that the best way to deal with our situation of being broke and miserable and unfulfilled is to understand that we will get all the greater things in life when we're dead and go to heaven. Well, listen, I'm all into going to heaven and so forth, but I'm not into living in hell in order to get there. I believe that you can create your own heaven on earth right now if you learn the proper strategies and apply them. You have the power to create magic in all areas of your life. And like I said before, you can create a heaven on earth right now if you decide to, or you can create a hell on earth right now if you decide to. The choice is yours. Just understand that no one said it's going to be easy. You will most definitely have visits from Murphy along the way, especially if you decide to enter the jungle. You're going to find out more about Murphy's Committee and how they operate. You will learn how to identify Murphy's Committee member when they pay you a visit, and you will learn how to beat them at their own game and enter the land of paradise. In the land of paradise, you can be what you want to be. You can do what you want to do, and you can have what you want to have. You don't have to worry about the price. You will learn how to develop the thick rhino skin so that you can endure the challenges which will surely come your way during your incredible journey through the jungle.
This is the section in the audio tape when it was first done, when you had to turn the tape over. So important to keep feeding your mind and keep feeding what you're learning. So very important.
Okay, everyone, we're back. I apologize for a slight interruption there. I know the thunderstorm, it was kind of difficult to talk through all that, but this happens frequently when you're in the jungle, and there's a lot of other challenges that take place also. Okay, now that you know that on one side of the jungle it's the cow pastures, and on the other side is the land of paradise, the first course of action is to make a decision to enter the jungle, and when there, to stay long enough to make it to the other side. You understand that we're all born with the rhino spirit, but most of us have been trained to be cows. We talked about the fact that only 10% of our entire population will even decide to enter the jungle, and only 3% of our population will actually make it across. Okay, where does Murphy's Committee come into play? Well, remember I said that Murphy's Committee consists of a council of 5 who have set up an operation in the universe that will test a person's level of commitment to their dreams, the goals and aspirations in which they're pursuing? Once again, I call them the interferers of magic. Their main job is to see if they can stop as many people as possible from making it across the jungle. Therefore, once you decide to enter the jungle, you better be prepared for some visits from the various council members that exist on Murphy's Committee. You see, all I'm doing right now is preparing you because I know that many of you have your affirmations prepared, you're excited about achieving them, you got your goals written down, but you may not be expecting, or you may not be willing to deal with what Murphy's Committee in the jungle has in store for you. This is why it's important for you to know why you want to achieve what it is you most desire. Since I first entered the jungle in 1987, I've seen a lot of people come and I've seen a lot of people go. Some last longer than others. Some re-enter the jungle at a later date, but many of them become what I call COJs, casualties of the jungle, never to return again. I mean, they accept the slow-paced mediocrity of the cow pastures for the rest of their lives. Murphy's Committee got the best of them. Let me share with you some of the tactics and some of the tricks that Murphy's Committee may pull on you in order to get you to exit the jungle. Murphy number 1 usually sends your family and friends after you when you first enter the jungle. They try to tell you to return to the cow pastures where it's safe and secure. They tell you that, look, there's a lot of real jobs in the cow pastures, and they warn you of all the dangers of the jungle. They tell you that there's no regular paycheck in the jungle, and by the way, there's a greater risk of disease in the jungle, and there's no medical benefits there. So you definitely want to make sure you get back to the cow pastures and get your medical benefits. And they tell you all of the poor souls who failed miserably in the jungle, and maybe a couple of them are COJs, casualties of the jungle. Besides, none of your other family members have made it to the other side, so what makes you think you can? You may as well accept your existence as a cow. After all, you don't have to take as many risks, and it doesn't take too much to survive. This shot from Murphy number 1 is enough to make most people return to the cow pastures. After all, they love their family and they don't want to really hurt their feelings anyway. That arrow that came from Murphy number 1 quickly penetrated through their thin skin and did enough damage for them to leave the jungle and return to the pastures. I see a lot of people leaving the jungle for this reason. But some people are more in tune with their rhino spirit. Thus, they keep charging through the jungle. Now it's time for Murphy number 2 to go to work on you. The strategy that Murphy number 2 used on me was to help get me in a situation where at the age of 21, I was burnt out and couldn't pay my bills. He figured that by having my cars repossessed and by sending the creditors after me, that would surely make me exit the jungle. And believe you me, I did feel that arrow. But one of my jungle buddies helped take that arrow out of me. And by the way, he told me that my skin was getting thicker. This encouraged me, and I actually stayed in the jungle because of this reason. Nevertheless, this is a major and highly effective strategy that Murphy number 2 used to make sure people exit the jungle. And sure enough, many of them do. The few that remain in the jungle is laughed at by Murphy number 3 because he knows that his powerful strategies can surely make people leave the jungle. Murphy number 3 plays heavily with your emotions. The strategy that he used on me was setting me up in a situation where I began to fall in love with a beautiful young woman who wanted to live comfortably in the cow pastures. Well, sure enough, situations occurred where I found myself living in the cow pastures with this young and beautiful woman. I even got a job in the pastures. And after a while, I couldn't take living and working in the cow pastures. I started becoming irritated and frustrated. I didn't fit in with the cows very well because they all noticed the horn that was starting to grow out of my head. I simply couldn't hide the fact that I was a developing rhino. You see, most cows have a hard time spending time with rhinos, and most rhinos have a hard time spending lots of time with cows. Rhinos are constantly talking about positive things, about their dreams and their goals, about their jungle adventures, and about the possibility of bringing their newfound cow companion in the jungle with them so they can make it on the other side together. Cows get nervous when rhinos start talking about these things. Cows like to complain about the things that went wrong at work and not being able to pay their bills. And they like to discuss trivial and negative issues, such as what happened on the news or how bad the economy is. The bottom line is I had to return to the jungle, and I really wanted to take this woman with me. But the energy, the excitement, and the risks of the jungle were too much for her. She decided to stay away from rhinos, and I decided to return to the jungle. It was a painful experience, and Murphy number 3 was surprised to see me back. He had did a great job playing with my emotions, and I even acknowledged him for it. But I told him that the jungle is where I belong, and that's where I will stay until I make it to the other side. I vowed to only fall in love with women who were promising young developing rhinos themselves instead of trying to make them rhinos. He was impressed with my determination, and so were the other committee members. You see, only a handful of people make it past Murphy number 3. Well, nevertheless, Murphy number 4 and Murphy number 5 were determined to stop me, and they're going to be determined to stop you as well. You see, getting past Murphy number 3 is a major breakthrough. By this time, your jungle skills have increased tremendously. Your skin is thickening more and more through every challenge you have through the jungle. You become more and more determined to make it to the other side of the jungle. And for the first time, you actually begin to embrace the atmosphere of the jungle. You have even developed enough skills and strategies to teach the newcomers and those who are sick and tired of being cows and are highly considering entering the jungle. You can tell them what gear to pack, what to expect, and how to effectively handle the potholes and the best route to take in order to avoid the occasional quicksand spots. Many rhinos actually use this avenue of teaching newcomers the techniques of successfully making it through the jungle as a source of revenue to support the remainder of their expedition through the jungle. By the way, even existing rhinos come and hear these strategies just to polish up and reinforce their jungle skills that they already have. Okay, let's continue with our journey through the jungle. Several months and possibly years have passed since you first entered the jungle, and you may look and smell pretty bad. All of your family and your friends who remain in the cow pastures are thinking that you've absolutely lost your mind by this time. They just don't understand why you won't return to the security of the cow pastures. Oh well, you're used to it by this point. By the way, your skin is so thick now that it doesn't bother you much anymore. You continue to plunge forward, and all of a sudden you come to a swamp. It stinks and looks like manure. Woo! And you notice that there's no way around it. You must either go through the swamp or exit the jungle. At this point, some can't stand it anymore, so they decide to leave the jungle and re-enter the cow pastures, where they are happily embraced by their friends and family. Everyone is cheering and so forth. They're excited that they returned. They knew that you would come to your senses someday. Some decide to stay at the edge of the swamp for a while just to sharpen their horns before they enter the swamp. And then there's a few brave souls who decide to just go for it now. They step into the gooey, slimy, and stinky swamp and proceed across. The smell is so disgusting that they can hardly breathe. Murphy number 4 is laughing, as well as the rest of the committee. But at the same time, they are impressed because very few people make it to the swamp, and even less than that actually jump in. Murphy number 4, along with Murphy number 5, begin to shoot all sorts of arrows at you in a final effort to make you surrender. This is when everything that seems that could go wrong goes wrong. It seems as if you'll never see the light on the other end. You start to doubt that the land of paradise even exists. Maybe someone close to you dies, or you get divorced after 5, 10, or 15 years of marriage, or you're forced to file bankruptcy, or your house is foreclosed on, or the IRS audits you and takes everything you own, or there's all kinds of things that could happen. Everything that seems that could possibly go wrong probably will. The important point to understand is that this is when you're closest to your goal. I know this is sometimes hard to believe, but believe me, it's true. Just ask any successful rhino and they will surely tell you so. You simply have to understand that Murphy number 5 and Murphy number 4 are making a final effort to stop you. If you persist during this stage, you have it made, because pretty soon they will get tired of messing with you. They'll say something like, hey, you see this guy, Jerry? Or just substitute your name for my name. You see this guy, Jerry? He's still going. He doesn't seem to understand that you can't get by. I tell you what, he's no more fun. We've been messing with him for months. Actually, we've been messing with him for years. And it just doesn't seem like he's going to get it. So why don't we just go ahead and let him go by, and we'll go ahead and pick on somebody else. All of a sudden, you find yourself in crystal clear light blue water walking towards the beach. It's the most incredible day you've ever seen, with the sun gently bouncing off your now clean rhino skin. The most beautiful woman, just substituted for handsome man for you ladies, greets you, kisses you, and escorts you to your AMG Mercedes-Benz super stretched limousine with personal chauffeur who greets you by name. As you drive down the freeway in the back of your limo, sipping a cool glass of Evian water, you pass a few cows. You look at their disgusting face and the sad looks that's coming from them. Occasionally, one would glance at the limo and you read their lips as they say, "Lucky folks." The chauffeur finally stops on top of a hill at a security gate and electronically opens it. You drive past a beautiful 7-foot water fountain in the center of the driveway. The chauffeur parks the limo in the garage and you get out and proceed to the elevator. As the elevator opens to the main entrance of the estate, you step onto a all-black marble floor. One of your maids hands you a cup of cappuccino and you walk over to the living room where you have a majestic view of the city and ocean. A tear drops down your cheek as you think of where you have been and where you are now. The phone rings, and it's for you. It's an old friend who had the chance to enter the jungle when you did, but told you that you were crazy and that you'll never make it. You hear a slight strain in his voice and a silence on the other end of the line as he mutters the words, "I wish I had." You turn to your beautiful wife or handsome husband. You think about your healthy children who are playing tennis on your tennis court. You take a look at your bank account, which is well into the millions, and glance again out your window while looking at the sun as it sets across the ocean. You say to your old friend, "I'm glad I did." You see, the moral to this story and this whole concept of Murphy's Committee is this: accomplishing your dreams and goals will not be easy, but it will be worth it. There will be many times when you just want to quit and give up. Those are the times when you must keep pressing forward. Sooner or later, Murphy's Committee will get tired of beating you. But until that time comes, you had better have some compelling reasons why you're in the jungle. Because if you don't, then I can guarantee you that you won't make it. You will inevitably be an indistinguishable part of that 97% of our population that retired dead or dead broke. Let me go ahead and give you a jungle survival tip. If you're getting chased by a bear when you first enter the jungle, because since you don't have your rhino horn, you may get chased by a few bears initially. The key is this: don't quit when you get tired. Quit when the bear gets tired. Don't stop and try to negotiate a deal with the bear. It will eat you alive. The point is this: bears don't negotiate. This is the same with the success that you want to achieve. You have to pay full price, and you have to pay the price in advance. Most people want the reward before they pay the price. As Earl Nightingale said, most people want the fire before they put the wood in. Think about this for a moment. If you walked into a bank and said, "I have $100,000 and I want to deposit it into your bank, but before I do so, I want you to pay me interest on it for 1 year in advance," the banker would most likely call a mental institution to come and have you checked out. Get over the idea of getting something for nothing. Only cows think this way. I once heard that in life, you win some, you lose some, and some get rained out, but you have to suit up for them all. You see, achieving your goals is like playing a football game. You can't win unless you score some points, and you're not going to score some points without getting some resistance from the opposite side. Murphy's Committee will definitely give you some resistance, and understand that that's their job, and they are very good at it. However, if you understand the laws of the mind and the concept of Murphy's Committee, you will not be too disturbed by the appearance of ultimate defeat. Instead, you will rejoice and hold the vision of what it is you want because you will also give thanks in advance that you have already accomplished it. Henry J. Kaiser said that problems are only opportunities in work clothes. Henry Ford said that failure is the opportunity to begin again more intelligently. You see, I want you to realize that you develop character by going through the struggles. Once you've made it through the other side of the jungle, you will be surprised of the small price that you actually had to pay because you'll be rewarded tenfold. Hey, I understand that statistically only a small percentage of our population will ever make it across the swamp, but that has nothing to do with you and I as individuals. Statistics are only relevant to the masses. All we have to do is make a decision to be one who makes it. Look, I also understand that this material may have struck a nerve or two with some of you, and that's exactly what I wanted to do. I believe that someone has to be willing to break it down to you and tell you the hardcore fact before it's too late. And remember this as you embark on your journey through life. Don't ask for life to be easy, ask for it to be worth it. You can pay the price for success or you can pay the price for failure. Success costs pennies, but failure costs millions. I sincerely enjoyed our time on this tape, and I hope you decide to enter the jungle and experience life to its fullest. Remember, the jungle is where the action is. I hope to see you there.
This CD has helped me more than I can explain. And what I've learnt from Jerry Clark. Um, I actually had the privilege of being able to meet him back in 2014. Christine organised a full weekend. Oh no, a full week's holiday where we got one-on-one. Well, not one-on-one. We got training with Jerry and we got to spend time with him, and it was just such a privilege. Um, I was a bit younger then. um, so yeah, that was Mum. So Mum and I got to meet Jerry. He's got a lot of really good resources, which I actually make a commitment to my team with Cecil that I will be using the materials that I've learnt from Jerry Clark. Some of the resources that he's developed that I've found incredibly useful over the years is he's got one, a high achievement network marketing CD set, which is absolutely brilliant. The magic of colors. I love the magic of colors. It teaches you about different personality types and that there are people that just like to have fun and there are other people that need the details. You need to give them the details. There are other people that they need to know that they're doing the right thing. They need to know that they've ticked all the boxes, they've got it all right. They need to be methodical. And there are other people that just want to know that everybody loves everyone and just wants to help everyone. And it's okay. We're all different, and it takes all sorts of people to make this world a better place. Um, the Magic of Colors is an excellent, excellent CD set. So it has helped me to understand people a lot better. Another one of his series is Creating Magic. That's a goal setting program. It is absolutely fantastic. It helps you to learn how to work with your mind so that how you can create what you want. And it's not about wishful thinking and woo woo hoping it's going to happen because you've also got to take actions too, which is where the High Achievement Network Marketing CD set comes in. And it really helps to give you the foundations of how to build a network marketing business. A lot of people look at Jerry because honestly, if you know his story, which you don't because you haven't listened to any of his CDs other than the Murphy's Committee, he grew up in the ghettos in America. He lived in a very small house with like 16 other people. His bed was underneath the baby's crib so that he didn't get stood on. His activity one of his favorite activities as a kid was to chase the cockroaches out of his frosted flakes in the morning. He found network marketing and discovered that all he had to do was collect no's. He didn't have to put a gun in someone's face. He didn't have to shoot anyone. He didn't have to beat anyone up. He just had to collect no's and move on. Because the more no's you collect, the closer you're going to get to a yes, and you're going to find people that want to come along on the journey. He inspired me. And a lot of his resources, like what we just listened to, it's fun. As I said, he's the Eddie Murphy of education. You're listening and you're learning and you're laughing at the same time. Without the foundation that Jerry gave me, I wouldn't have made it through. And it's not just Jerry, it's other mentors that he linked me in with and other mentors that I learnt through with Christine. Like um, Jerry has a couple of series, The Insider Secrets and Standing on the Shoulders of Giants, where he'd go around and he'd interview some of the really big, successful people. And he'd get information from them. Like he interviewed Jim Rohn and Big Al, um, Jeffrey Combs, Calvert. He actually introduced my mentor, Christine Gear. Um, he made it his mission to help educate people on stuff. And these resources are just, they're brilliant. They help you understand the foundations of how a business works. And it's not what we're taught. What we learn in school has got nothing to do with it. It doesn't set us up for business. It teaches us to get a good job, get good grades, and make lots of money and retire. It doesn't work. It doesn't work anymore. It hasn't worked for a long time. And if you've got other issues, it makes it a little bit harder. But one of my other mentors, well, I'd only got to meet him once, but Charlie Tremendous Jones. I've actually got a lot of his resources on CD. I've got to go back to the farm and go and hunt down my boxes with all of my CDs in it because I've got tens of thousands of dollars worth of personal development seminars that I went to in CDs. I'm hoping they haven't been ruined by the heat actually. If they have, I'm just going to buy them again because they were worth it. They helped me to be able to cope with life. When the Murphy's Committee throws junk at you, that you just keep on charging and you do it with value. You don't, and you make sure you value people because people are more important than money. And success is not just about the numbers on a bank sheet. What is success to you? It could be having a massive property with gardens and chickens and goats and cows and a pond and just being able to relax and chill. It could be living in a skyscraper. It could be buy an island. I don't know. If you've got a goal that's something you're wanting to work towards, you can. But so end of my jumping up and down and getting excited. One of the biggest things and my favorite thing about network marketing is the personal development. Um, see, I've the lady in that photo, she'd gone from being a single mum with no hope in the world that life was ever going to change, with no hope, no idea even how to get a job, let alone earn money and then do anything with it and invest or anything like that. But she learned, and she learned that there's options and there's hope. I made a few mistakes along the way. I got stuck in the pastures for a little while. They were nice pastures. The pastures got stressful. um, and I'm going back to who I am. And I don't think that actually ever changed. But there's hope. And if there's hope for me, there's hope for you. Where would you like your life to be in 5, 10 years' time? Because I'd love to come alongside you and share some of the stuff I've learned and give you some hope. And we grow together. Anyway, learning in the jungle is hard for all of us. Absolutely. Absolutely it is. But where there's life, there's hope. And we don't give up. Never give up. It's always too soon to quit. One of the things that Jerry taught me is rest if you must, but don't quit. It's okay to rest. In fact, it's important to rest. Taking time to breathe and relax is really, really important. Thank you, Robert. Thank you. I really appreciate your encouragement and your support. It means a lot. Life is not easy, but we can get through it and we can get through it better together. So, yeah, I hope you've enjoyed tonight um, and enjoyed watching us play Cashflow um, and enjoyed listening to the Murphy's Committee. Um, yeah, if you would like to be a part of the sizzle and join me on that journey, I'd love to be able to have you on the team. I've set up a Facebook group where I'll be sharing a lot of resources to be able to help people. Um, and yeah, I'm still learning how it all works. I have a great deal of faith in the Mauer family and the mission that they're on. I've known of their mission for a very, very long time. And honestly, I've been using products that they developed nearly 30 years ago, and they've still been helping me today. And now they've actually got a whole new level of products with a whole new, it's like 20 years more advancement and more research that's gone into it. So I have a great deal of faith in what they've created and would love for people to come along and join me on the journey. Um, Robert, would you like to have a quick look at the Sizzle website? I can jump onto it and show you some of the stuff if you like. um, no pressure. Um, honestly, I got to hear Jerry speak and got to ask him what he actually did to start earning 10,000 a month, and he did it in a very, very short period of time. Um, but he spoke to like 10,000 people in the first month, and he collected lots of no's. You have a blessed day too, Robert. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate, and I hope you can come along next week too. I'm going to get going because it's getting late here. It's nearly midnight. Let me know if you've got any questions, um, and I can add you to the business group if you, even if you just want to be able to join in with the personal development stuff that I'm going to share. You're more than welcome to do that. Um, so yes. Anyway, you have a great night, and I will catch you next Monday, if not before. I will probably end up doing more videos before that, but yeah. But yeah, send me a message if you want to join in on the Facebook group, and I will add you to the group. Bless you, Robert. Bless you, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed tonight, and I will catch you next week. You too. Bless you. Thanks for joining us.